Hi guys, welcome to SamTech Pro. Do you want to create your transistor tester just to test normal transistors? It can test all kind of transistor and it can tell you about good or bad transistor, and also it can tell you about its type, NPN or PNP. So let's get started. So here is the schematic plan using 555 timer. What it actually does, it is an oscillator. It is arranged in the form of oscillator and oscillating at the frequency of 2 hertz. 2 hertz mean that in 1 second you are going to have 2 of these cycles. Now from this point to that point, right over here and here and then here, we got 1 hertz and 1 hertz. Now the time period between these is 1 second. Now in 1 second we are having 2 cycles, right? So the 2 hertz is the frequency of in 1 second. So it means we got 4 time on, off, on and off, on and off pulses. Okay, so similarly we already know about the pin number 3 of the 555 timer, which is the output. We got set the trigger pins, pin number 6 and 2. 6 is for threshold, while pin number 2 is for the trigger. Now these are being driven by the capacitor. This capacitor is specifically calculated, and this 30K resistor is actually used to charge this capacitor. Now before we create more mess, I use the color of the marker. So the pin number 5 is for voltage control, obviously not necessary, just to make connection and make it work. Pin number 1 is connected to the ground. Now pin number 4 and 8 obviously used for the voltage because these are voltage pin. Pin number 8 is the voltage pin, while pin number 4 is the reset pin. So these are connected to 9 volts, and over here we are using a divider of the standard value 220 ohms, and this will also act as the protection for these LEDs, because the current will go from here, and one of these LED depends upon the type of the current. If this is negative, then this LED would work, and the reference from the ground would act as positive. So the current will go from here and then ground. So in this way it will work. So the pulse that is coming to the transistor will give the pulse at the base. When the pulse on the base is open, it acts as open circuit. It will act as open circuit. Open circuit means, as this is 2 hertz, so it will keep turning on and off, on and off, on and off, and depends the respective LED will light up. And if this is a PNP transistor, then when the off pulse will come here, it would conduct otherwise at the positive cycle. For example, I write here NPN. NPN will act on which cycle? The upper one. While the PNP would conduct on this side. Well, circuit diagram is also given in the description with all parts values, and right now I'm gonna build that, and let's enjoy it. Alright, so here we are. It's completed, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna connect the probes of my variable bench power supply, and I'm gonna test it. And let's see if it runs at first instant. If it runs for the first time, which can never happen in my life. And here I see nothing. Alright, the wire is disconnected. I'm gonna connect it again. The power supply is set at 9 volts, and capacitor is not getting hot. I'm checking it because recently in amplifier testing I burned too many capacitors, and it's not working. Oh my god, it smelled like I just blown 555 timer. There is also liquid coming out of it. Well, alright, I need to replace it. I replaced, and I show you within a second. Right, here it is working. I actually forgot to solder the connection for the red LED, and also forgot to connect the 220 ohm resistor to the right pin. It was connected to the wrong pin, so it was kind of mistake. So I got BC557, which is we all know, and PNP transistor, and I got 21394. So firstly I'm trying BC557, which is a PNP, and as we thought, that red light is blinking, which means the PNP transistor is good and it's working. Now what if I connect it in the reverse direction? Still red light is lighting, which clearly indicates that this transistor is PNP and it's working. Now this is 21394 and PN transistor. Now we see green light is blinking, which means that 21394 is okay and it works. Now for example, if comes a faulty transistor, which is an open one, nothing will happen, both light will lights up. But if the light stops and there's no light, no LEDs shining, that means the transistor is closed or shorted, you can say. So by the way, this transistor was good, but this was a Darlington pair transistor, which does not work with these circuits, which are maybe low power. I didn't check for the pinout or something else. Now here I got the big transistor, B877 I think, or maybe B377. It's a PNP, so we see the red light is blinking, which means that the PNP transistor is okay. So this kit does not test Darlington pair transistor, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna work on this kit maybe someday, and I'll modify the circuit, maybe add some components to test all kinds of transistor, and maybe I'll make this kit to tell you more about transistors by just using the lights, etc. I'll try to keep it as simple as possible. So thank you so much for watching this video. I used it on 9 volts and current consumption was only 30 ampere. Please like this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.